This is the ninth module, and the topic that we'll be looking at in this module is the Nigerian driver, where we'll be mainly looking at the licensing and accredited schools when we are talking about Nigerian drivers. So we have the contents of the module to be that we'll be looking at the step-by-step guide that is applying for a Nigerian driver's license, guiding ourselves to how to get a Nigerian driver's license. Then 2, we'll be looking at the rules of FRSC and state boards. And 3, we'll be looking at the comprehensive table of licensed driving schools in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, that is Abuja. And for the introduction, we have Nigeria's road transport sectors. They serve over 200 million citizens across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, making professional driver training and licensing essential public safety priorities. The Federal Road Safety Corps, that is the FRSC, they serve as Nigeria Primary Road Safety Authority, working alongside state boards of internal revenue and licensed driving schools to administer licensing, enforce traffic regulations, and promote road safety education. So, and understanding Nigeria's driver licensing process from learner permits through full license acquisitions will empowers aspiring drivers to navigate the system efficiently and legally. So choosing reputable accredited driving schools ensures quality instruction meeting with the FRSC standards. And this module will provide comprehensive guidance on Nigerian driver licensing procedures, the roles of regulatory bodies, not only the procedures but also the roles of regulatory bodies, and extensive listings of accredited driving schools across all Nigerian states and the Federal Capital Territory. So that whether you are seeking initial license renewal, upgrading license class, or professional driving instructions, this module is what you need to serve as definitive reference. That will serve as definitive reference for Nigerian drivers by navigating the licensing landscape. So let's look at let's dive into the main contents now. We're looking at Nigerian drivers license classes, where we have 6 license categories, where we have the class A, B, C, D, and E. Then for class A, we have the motorcycles, tricycles, and the scooters. And class B, we have the light vehicles. That is in this category we have the likes of private cars and private vans, and this is most common for private use, mostly for private use. And we have the class C to be the medium heavy commercial vehicles, that is the trucks, the buses, and 3,500 kg in weight. So we also have class D, that is the articulated vehicles or trailers. Then we have class E, the combination vehicles, that is the multiple trailers. And for the driver's license, we have the eligibility requirements. What are those things that is necessary before you can be able to process for driver's license? The eligibility status, we have age is very essential. Must be 18 plus for class A and B, then 21 plus for class C, D, E. So that is the minimum age is 18 years for just the motorcycle and the private cars, while the minimum age is 21 for the class C, that has to do with the vehicles, the trailers, and the combination vehicles. Then we also have residency under the eligibility requirements, that is the person must be Nigerian citizen or a legal resident of Nigeria. Then we have the health as another requirement. The person must be medically fit, that is medical certificate is required. Then we have literacy. The person must pass written test, must be able to read some basic things at least. And we have the learner's permit process, where we have mostly in Nigeria we see the symbol letter L, which indicates learners. So the 4 key steps to obtain your learner's permit: we have 1, medical examination, we have biometric capture, we have written test, then we receive temporary permit. So for the medical examination, it is done by mostly a Federal Safety Corps approved medical center. 2, vision, hearing, physical, mental fitness test. It is very essential to make sure that the person does not have issues with vision, that is the eyes, hearing, and physical and mental fitness test. Then the cost is 2,000 to 5,000 naira. Then we move on to the next process, which is the biometric process. And to do that, you visit the FRSC driver's license center and you present the national ID, proof of address, medical certificate, passport photographs, and the likes. So we have the national ID and which is the NIN, proof of address, and all. Then we have three. The cost should be around 6,350 to 6,500 naira for the biometric capture. Then we have the written test, that is the highway code. It is computer based. 50 to 60 multiple choice questions will be answered, and it covers science, it covers rules, safety principles, and like. And the pass mark is 60 to 70%, and it is available in English and major Nigerian languages. So, and the fourth process is to receive temporary permit, and this temporary permit is valid for minimum of 60 days and must hold before taking practical test. So that is the driver must have all these permits before taking practical test. Now let's move on to practical training options or the test on its own. We have the professional instruction that is highly recommended. We have FRSC, that is these practical training options is taken in FRSC accredited driving schools, and the duration should be between 2 to 6 weeks. The cost is 20,000 to 80,000. That is, it varies by location or vehicle types. It depends on the type of vehicle that wants to be learned. Then the benefits, we have the structured curriculum, professional instructors, then higher pass rates. So that's if you attend FRSC accredited driving schools. Now let's move on to self-practice. That one is supervised. It is legal if supervised by a licensed driver, 3+ years experience. That is, it is legal. It is monitored and taught, and also supervised by a licensed driver with 3 years above experience. The vehicle must display L plate, front and rear, in front and the back, to indicate that this person is just being taught, is just a learner. Then skills to master, we have the skills to master to be the starting, the stopping, turning, reversing, parking, hill start, and the emergency stop. Those are the major basic skills to master when during the practical training class. And the key skills to develop are vehicle control and defensive techniques. We also have the traffic law compliance. Then we have the hazard awareness and response. So now let's move on to the practical driving test, which is which the test format is between 15 to 30 minutes. Then we have the pre-test checks. That is under that we have you demonstrate vehicle knowledge, identify controls, and perform basic checks before you drive. So then you have the on-road assessments, and under that we'll be looking at the to navigate traffic following examiner's directions, demonstrate and under that we have observation, signaling, lane positioning, speed control, compliance with laws. Then we have specific maneuvers. Then under the specific maneuver, we have 3-point turn, that is, or U-turn, that we call U-turn. We have reverse parking, start if applicable or available, then emergency stop. And these are the common reasons for failure when taking practical driving test. We have one to be inadequate observation or mirror use, and you don't observe adequately and you don't make use of your mirror adequately. It's more possible that this is one of the reasons that cause common reasons for failure. And 2, we have poor vehicle control, stalling and harsh braking, traffic violations, unsafe maneuvers, then nervousness, which also affects performance. Then let's move on to the receiving your permanent license. So that is, after passing practical test, you move on to receiving your permanent license. And in doing that, we have temporary license issued valid 2 to 8 weeks that we mentioned. That is, then you go for permanent biometric card produced at FRSC center. Then that will contains photo biometric data, not only that license data and the expiry date, and collect at issuing center or via carrier. So license validity is, when we have new drivers, it is 3 years, but when it is renewed, the renewal is 5 years. The renewal process begins 3 to 6 months before expiry. No retest required unless long expired. So since there's no need to retest, since the person is constantly constantly driving. So upgrading license class, that is when you want to upgrade from class B to class C, that is commercial. Requirement is 3+ years Class B experience, clean record, that is more, you must not have recorded any cause of accident or anything like that. Commercial training. The process entails enrollment in accredited school and also to pass commercial tests. So let's move on to the Federal Road Safety Corps, the FRSC. They were established in 1988. FRSC Act Cap F18. Their mission is to make Nigerian roads safer through enforcement, education, and advocacy. So the key responsibilities is driver licensing, enforcement, vehicle registration, public education, crash management, and the likes. For driver licensing, standard testing, biometric database, enforcement of traffic laws, speed limits, impaired drive, vehicle checks, and the likes. Vehicle registration, we have standards, number plate number or number plate, roadworthiness. They are the ones that check all these things. Public education, they give safety campaigns, school programs, community outreach, and the likes. And accident response. So their contact is the headquarters is in Abuja, zonal sector commerce in all states, and the website is www.frc.gov.ng, and the emergency hotline is 122. So now let's move on to licensed driving schools. Licensed driving schools. Now, FRSC accreditation requirements. These are the basic requirements that is necessary for FRS, for a driving school to be accredited by FRSC. One, we have registered business entity. Then we have FRSC certified instructors. Then third, we have safe roadworthy training vehicles, adequate insurance coverage. That's another one. Then fifth one is structured curriculum meeting national standard. Then we have the last one to be safe training facilities. So these are the benefits of accredited schools. One, we have quality instruction meeting FRSC standards, proper documentation for licensing. We have three, to be direct interface with FRSC for test scheduling. And we have accountability and recourse also. So now let's look at the red flags. Avoid these schools. The red flags to take notes when we want to go for driving schools. We have one, to be significantly below market pricing. Those schools that are significantly below market pricing, we should try to avoid them. No verifiable credentials, they promise guaranteed pass, poorly maintained vehicles, pressure for immediate payment. These are the red flags that need to be considered, that should be taken into consideration when we are enrolling for driving schools. Now, so now in finding accredited schools nationwide, we have this link, the link on the screen to find accredited school, and this is from the FRSC national database. So you should verify directly with FRSC or state VIO offices. Accreditation status may change as it is, we should know. So but for the selection criteria, we have accreditation. They verify FRSC documentation. They have reputation also for criteria. These are the criteria in selecting driving schools. You seek recommendation and read reviews. Instructors are FRSC certified, experienced, good teaching styles. Vehicles are well maintained, safe, and appropriate. Curriculum is structured, comprehensive lessons. Pass rates, high first attempt success, and location is convenient access. Pricing is transparent and value based, not just the cheapest. So questions to ask prospective driving schools before enrolling. You ask for the FRSC accreditation number. Not only that, the pass rate for first time test takers, and what exactly is included in training package. How many practical driving hours are provided. These are the necessary questions that need to be asked. Can I meet my instructor before enrolling? What is your refund or cancellation policy? Do you provide test booking assistance? Or to also check the vehicles. What vehicles do you use for training? And these are mostly likely questions that need to be asked before you enroll. It is very essential before you enroll. Due diligence will prevent disappointments. So when you ask this question, it will prevent disappointment and ensures quality training. So then let's move on to the special circumstances and additional information. So we have foreign license holder. They can use valid foreign license temporarily for 3 to 6 months. International driving permit is also recommended, but must obtain Nigeria license for extended stay. So they may also require written tests only. It depends on the policy. At least the policies vary. So the persons with disabilities, don't forget we are looking at the special circumstances and additional information whereby driving can be considered. We have for the persons with disability, there is also accommodation for testing, medical examination assesses fitness with adaptation. License may include restriction, e.g. automatic only. So those are the restrictions. The license may also include that you can only drive automatic, and it depends on the situation or the health, or the disability status of the disability. So we also have the military or uniform services. Special licensing arrangement through service branches must still meet FRSC standards. Always verify your current requirements with FRSC. Policy may evolve. So in conclusion, we've been able to address the basic and the major things that need to be done when you are trying to get a driving license and all in Nigeria. This module has been a step-by-step guide to getting enrolling in driving school and also getting driver's license in Nigeria. So in conclusion, navigating Nigeria's driver licensing system and selecting quality driver training requires understanding regulatory structures, licensing procedures, and available educational resources. FRSC as an organization, they serve as the cornerstone of Nigerian road safety, administering standardized licensing while maintaining high standards through driving school accreditation programs. The key principles for Nigerian driver licensing success are the preparation, quality training, regulatory compliance, patience, and continuous learning. So, however, for Nigerians, millions of current and aspiring drivers, understanding and properly navigating the licensing system contributes to the broader goals of safer roads. Each properly trained legitimately, so licensed driver enhances overall road safety, reduces crashes, and contributes to more orderly, efficient traffic.